Let's move on here. What do I have next? I just got all these things just lined up, ladies and gentlemen. Federal workers are getting fired. Now, I thought this was going to happen sooner, man, but apparently they're going real slow when it comes to this whole thing. Apparently, Trump and Elon have decided, or Trump mainly, has decided, because Elon doesn't want to give them a second chance. Trump wants to give them a second chance. So it's become, if they don't answer, they get fired, and then they're going to get another email, and then they're going to have another chance. What's her name? Alina Haba. She's going to talk about it right now.
Can you clarify for federal workers who might be confused who to listen to, since Elon Musk's post is different from what OPM sent out?
I don't think it's, look, here's the reality of the situation. There's one person we're supposed to be listening to, that's President Trump, and what the American people mandated, which is what we're doing. People need to be accountable. You need to be able to answer the question. If you couldn't answer it yesterday, you have till today. But the reality is, accountability is real. I can't not show up to work every day. I have to answer to the president. And by answering to the president, I answer to the American people. It's very simple. Would you want to pay somebody to do a job and they don't show up to work? I don't think so. I could name 5 things, 5 bullets, in about 5 minutes of me coming into the office every day. If you struggle to do that for a week, there's no excuse for that. Now, you can have an extra day to answer it, but you better be able to answer it.
What clarification can you offer workers who are confused?
I'm not sure why you're confused or why it's so hard to answer what 5 things you've done in the past week.
And what do you say to departments that have told their employees you don't have to answer?
Well, I think that there's reasoning behind that. You have to understand some of these departments, obviously, we work with top secret information that perhaps you're not supposed to disclose. There's a lot of complications that I'm not going to get into, but there's no question that every single cabinet member, every single person that was put into this administration wants the American people working, wants people back to work, wants to stop the Zoom calls, and wants to stop people from double dipping and having 2 jobs when taxpayer dollars are paying for you to come to work.
Is the White House investigating any of the DOJ assistants like hacking of the
That's a question for Doge and DOJ.
Are White House staffers included in the ask by Elon Musk? Did you turn in 5 things to President Trump that you did?
I received an email. President Trump knows what I do every single day. So for me to answer that email is incredibly easy. Frankly, the American people see what I do every single day. It's just such a non-issue. Think about the fact that we're having look at all of you standing here asking me why people are upset to answer to their boss, the American people, and the President of the United States, what you've done at work. What a ridiculous thing. I mean, it's as ridiculous as us having to say that boys can't play in women's sports. The fact that we are wasting American taxpayer dollars to even have to correct this is insane.
in order to fire people who don't answer?
Firing people has been happening. It happens in every job. Is it outrageous to you that we're firing people? I mean, PPO has fired tons of people. Each department has fired tons of people. If you're not on an American First agenda, you're not here.
But will they be fired if they, just to be clear, will they be fired if they don't respond?
I think the president spoke on that. I'll refer to his statement. You will be held accountable. You will lose your job if you are not working.
Well, but OPM said, I believe it was, maybe it's afterwards, so it's not afterwards, but a failure to respond is not afterwards.
Listen, it's like any job. We're going to ask you what you're doing. Each department is in charge. We have to look at what everybody's doing. You want to say that we're just going to go in and do something careless? No, we don't do things carelessly. But we are asking people to show us that you are working.
And what's going to happen to the message? You'll hire up, evaluate the message, and see whether this person was being effective and constructive that week, or just if we must respond to show that we exist.
I think every department will handle it in a coordinated effort, but the mandate is real. You have to show up to work.
Will it take staff time to read them?
Of course it takes people's time to read them. We're not asking them so that we put them in a wastebasket. We're asking because we want to know. I don't ever. You know me better than that. I don't speak for the president ahead of him. The president will speak for himself. And lucky for everyone in America, President Trump is on the news every day answering questions whenever you guys want. I think that's something that we really have to say, look, there's transparency like we've never seen. And that can cause confusion for people. I understand that. But just know that while we are being absolutely transparent, these are intricate things that we're dealing with. And there are teams of people coordinating, working together to make sure we make this country better. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Solid. That lady could have been press secretary real easy. Real easy, real smooth. Then we also have Kevin O'Leary speaking to the whole thing. He feels like Elon Musk is not doing enough, that he's not cutting enough, that he should be cutting deeper. Instead of just cutting, 10%, he should cut deeper into the 25, 30%. I'll let him explain what he means, though.
Restoring the services and the jobs and the people that have been broken by this ridiculous process. The federal government is not a company that you take over. This may work on Shark Tank, but it's not a company that you take over and dismantle and sell for parts because you want to do it in a different way. You have to do things in accordance with the Constitution.
The smile is back. I think I know why. Kevin, what's your thought?
Federal government is fat, dripping with fat. 100 years of never being scrutinized, never been examined, never looking for any efficiencies. Finally, here's an individual that's willing to do it for free with extremely great executional skills, and people are uncomfortable. Don't worry about it. The American people want to know how much waste is evident. And I think they're getting answers, and it's not good. So, Tom, I love it. You're absolutely right. But frankly, just between you and I, he's not cutting enough. In the concept of private equity, when you find a broken, bankrupt company, you look at the spreadsheet, you say, okay, this is the original cut idea. You cut 20% more because it really hurts when you cut. You cut deep, you cut fast, you chop, you hack, and then you hire back because you don't want the trauma to everybody multiple times. I don't think he's doing enough. He's not cutting enough. We should cut more, 20% more. It's all fat. It's waste. There's so much waste in federal government. This is great for the American people.
Kevin, how can it be so great to then if it's to rehire? First of all, the number 20% just seems completely arbitrary. I don't know where you're basing that off of, other than it sounds like maybe an idea. But also, hold on, I want to hear your responses. But Kevin, it doesn't make efficiency sense to say I'm going to thrash and burn and then try to regrow everything and try to come back and figure out what I've done that was ineffective in the instance. Isn't an audit supposed to be I'm going to take an assessment and then I'm going to decide the prudent course of action? Why is it while I'm auditing, I'm getting rid of, and then I'll figure out if it was a good idea? Would that work in your business?
Yes, you can't be surgically precision.
100% that would work. That's exactly what you do. That's exactly what Elon did. Elon got rid of 80% of the company at X and then ran it with 20%. And anybody that he needed to hire back, he did. But guess what? He didn't need to hire anybody back. It was crazy. He was just working with 20. And I'm sure they've gone and hired some more people, but he was able to run the entire company just fine with 20% of the staff that they had. Basically just the engineers, the HR, the essential people. That was it. So you actually can do that. You don't have to go nice and slow. I think he might be right. And Elon Musk actually said this. He said, I will do whatever I can. There are limitations placed upon me. So in reality, obviously he's talking about Trump because, Elon doesn't run the show. Trump does. So Trump is like, hey, listen, you can't just do whatever you want here. You actually have to, slow it down a little bit. Because I think if Elon had the opportunity, he would have done exactly what this guy's saying. He would have just cut a massive bunch of people and just started flowing the work to other people. Made sure the people who actually work there actually love the country. If they actually love the country, they'll probably be willing to do more work. Maybe you bump up their pay a little bit. There's many avenues you can take. But yeah, it's just very, very interesting. I have some breaking news here, actually. I actually have to move towards this breaking news. Where are my bookmarks here? I did not see this coming. Let me see this. So we got Tulsi here, but we also have this. Apparently, the House GOP passes budget bill, which ends tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. Promises made, promises kept. This just happened about an hour ago. So pretty amazing to see that. Can't wait to see many Democrats get very upset about that. And then also Tulsi Gabbard apparently here dropping the hammer. She is, before I play the clip, I just want to see here, revoking the security clearances of 100 plus intelligence officials involved in disgusting chats. Wow. Let's play this, I guess. Let's see what kind of weird turn this takes.
Well, Jesse, what we're going to do has already been done. There are over 100 people from across the intelligence community that contributed to and participated in this, what is really just an egregious violation of trust, what to speak of like basic rules and standards around professionalism. I put out a directive today that they all will be terminated and their security clearances will be revoked. But the thing here, Jesse, is like we got to take a step back because this is just barely scratching the surface. When you see what these people were saying, and thanks to Chris Rufo for putting it all out online, they were brazen in using an NSA platform intended for professional use to conduct this kind of really, really horrific behavior. And they were brazen in doing this because when was the last time anyone was really held accountable? Certainly not over the last 4 years, certainly not over the last 10, maybe 20 years. When we look at some of the biggest violations of the American people's trust in the intelligence community. So today's action in holding these individuals accountable is just the beginning of what we're seeing across the Trump administration, which is carrying out the mandate the American people gave him. Clean house, root out that rot and corruption and weaponization and politicization, so we can start to rebuild that trust in these institutions that are charged with an important mission of serving the American people, ensuring our safety, security, and freedom.
Wow. Wow. I cannot wait to hear Trump talk about this. I can't wait. Trump's going to be like, and you heard about these chats, didn't you? You heard about these disgusting chats that these people were. This is what we're talking. This is the waste, the fraud, and abuse. They were in the chat saying terrible things I can't even say right now. Just disgusting, deplorable things, okay? Things that you usually hear on Grindr and whatnot. I mean, this was vile stuff here, people. It's going to be crazy when he talks about it. I love that Tulsi's already bringing down the hammer. Yeah, this just happened. When did this come out? When did this come out? Let me see here. Yeah, that was just 42 minutes ago. So I venture to say that this episode of Jesse Waters just came out maybe like an hour ago. Very, very, very weird stuff. I almost don't want to know more about that whole situation. I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of don't want to know what any of that involves, but I will look into it and bring you guys what I can. Honestly.